What about riding an ostrich? Would you like to get on an ostrich and race around the track?
How fast is an ostrich?
They're pretty fast. I bet you they probably run 30, 40 kilometers an hour. I would think.
I'm scared of that. I fell down and then the ostrich ran away and I don't know where am I.
Well, I've seen the ostrich races too, and they have a track. It's like a horse race. And you have these little guys that get on there who are jockeys, and then they ride the ostrich, and the ostriches are jumping around and they're racing around the track. They have races, like it's a competition. It's pretty funny to watch. We talked about inventions, the Segway and stuff like that. You remember that lesson?
I think I forgot it.
Sheesh, unbelievable. What invention do you think is the best for people? What's one of the best inventions you can think of? Many people benefit from.
The fridge or the television.
Bridge?
The fridge.
Oh, the fridge. The fridge. Definitely. That was a big invention. That changed the world in a lot of ways. Didn't have to buy salt all the time to dry our food and store it for the winter. The fridge. I never thought of that. It's hard to live without a fridge. That is so true. And what was the other one you said?
They can put food in the box full of ice.
Well, they would do that. They would. Well, see, the problem was how do you? Okay, you said fridge, and what was the other one you said that was good? You said two of them. What was the other?
Fridge and television.
Television. Okay, we'll come back to television. The problem with ice was that if you live in Vietnam and you live in a hot area and you don't have a fridge, how are you going to use ice? How are you going to get ice? So, because you needed the fridge and the freezer in order to make the ice for food. So, if you didn't have a fridge, you couldn't make ice. So that would be the first problem. And if you have a fridge, why do you need ice?
To put in the water or some Coke for the better flavor.
What do you think was invented first, the fridge or the Coca-Cola?
The fridge.
I don't know when the fridge was invented. I think Coca-Cola has been around for like 100 years now. I think in the early 1900s when that guy invented the drink. I'm guessing the fridge has been around for quite some time too. But yeah. But now if you live in the winter, then your food would get frozen all the time. You could just keep it outside in a box and everything would freeze. But what they used to do hundreds of years ago was they would dry the food, right, out in the sun with salt, fish and beef. So that way you could store it for the winter and still get the protein and the nutrition from the meat.
But how did they store it in the summer?
I think it summer and winter, you would just store it in a bag or a box because it was dried out. Do you ever, sometimes you get that squid in comfa where it's not in the fridge anymore, but it's hard and you just heat it and you can rip it apart and eat it. Kuku, what do they call that squid in Vietnamese?
Squid?
Yeah.
Squid mixed with something?
No, what's the Vietnamese word for squid?
Mực, maybe?
Mực, yeah. Well, you see how that's all dried? You can just leave that in the cupboard and it's good all year round, right? It's not going to rot anymore.
I haven't tried it before. Maybe I'll try it one day.
Oh, you've never had that squid where you just heat it up and then you just rip it apart and eat it? It's really chewy. You never ate
I
that?
just eat it in the
It's in the
way. You
restaurants.
mean the fry squid? They easily eat it Tate?
They do eat a lot at Tet. Yeah. They eat it all the time. I remember at Lay's, they used to have it a lot. Um, and they would just heat it up. They would just make it warm. But the point is that the meat or the fish, right? Like you can't just leave fish on the table. It's going to rot and it's going to smell really bad, right? But if you
Yes, so my family easily put it in the fridge.
exactly, but you can dry it out in the sun and salt it and then it preserves it. So then it's good all year and you don't have to use a fridge. That's why salt was so valuable hundreds of years ago. Salt was like gold a few hundred years ago because everybody needed salt to preserve their food. So they had food in the wintertime. I would imagine the summer they would just eat it when they caught it, put it on a fire, and that would be it. But in the winters, they had to preserve their food because it was difficult. So salt used to be very, very important. And sometimes you can buy beef, and it's called like dry jerky, right? It's already been cooked basically, and it's dry, and you can just rip it apart and chew it. But it's not gonna rot anymore. It's already gone. I don't know how the process is to do that. It's really good, but it was how they used to do it anyway. Okay, so invention fridge, and along came ice. What invention do you think is the most harmful to people?
Again, please, my grandmother coming to the room.
Your grandmother's coming to the room.
Yeah.
Hello, Grandma. What do you think the worst invention, the most harmful inventions are? We didn't talk about TV yet either.
Cigarettes.
Me too. I think cigarettes are one of the worst inventions ever. They're horrible.
I
I
don't
too.
think wine is too harmful just because of people using it too much.
Well, that's it. There's no good positive thing from smoking. It's bad for your lungs. It's bad for your blood. It's bad for the cells in your body. Um, yeah, no, it is harmful. It's harmful to your body big time. And people who smoke, yeah, that's a horrible addiction because it just there's nothing good about cigarettes. Nothing. There's so many bad
So
chemicals in it.
what do you think about wine, alcohol, or beers? I think people just using it too much and it's harmful, right?
Alcohol is also a very harmful thing if you do it in excess. Alcohol has like methane in it or something like that, and it also hurts your cells in your body as your body develops when you get older. Um, Now, many people believe that it's okay to have a glass of wine or two glasses or a beer or two beers, with their dinner at night. Um, and they're not drunk, falling all over the place or acting foolishly, which some people do. I have done it myself a couple of times. Silly, silly. Um, so many people think that if you just drink a little bit socially or at dinner, things like that, it's fine. I think most people believe that. But if you drink five or six or seven and you're getting drunk, then you are causing a lot of damage to your body for sure. And it does make you kind of lose your memory and stuff in the future too. So too much is very bad. That's why they call him an alcoholic. But some hospitals and some doctors and neurologists, and the literature on that, the writing, the research says that even if you only had a couple of drinks a week, um, it's still it's still a negative effect on your body. So I would have to say that someone who doesn't drink is 99% more likely to be much healthier than someone who does drink. Yep, that's what I would say. But I'm sure 90% of the people you talk to would say that it's okay to have a few drinks here and there. Everybody I know would say that. Yeah, and the TV. Now that's a tricky one because I don't watch television anymore. I haven't owned a television in, oh boy, more than 10 years, maybe 15 years, the last time I bought a television. I don't. I bought a television when I was in Halong for a little while, but I never even watched it. I just used it for, no, I didn't. It was just show. I didn't watch any of it. But when it was invented back in the 50s, I think it was huge, right? Because now you could get news around the world and you could watch sporting events around the world and the governments could talk to you around the world. I think a lot of good came from it, but I also think a lot of negative came from it too, because people are so addicted to media. And I think the media companies are so powerful and influencing people that they don't always do what's best for the people. But it certainly is a big invention. I'm just not sure if it's a good one or a bad one. Cigarettes is definitely a harmful one, that's for sure. And alcohol is harmful too. You don't drink, I hope. Do you
For
drink
me,
wine?
ice cream is the most useful invention, but it's the best invention for me.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people would agree with you. I think it was Mimi and Dudley. They said the most harmful invention was nuclear bombs. I said,
It's
yeah,
true.
that's
Very
true.
true.
That's a good one. Those are definitely harmful. So you're answering number 3. What is your favorite invention and why? So you think it's ice cream?
Yes, I love its flavor, especially chocolate one.
Yeah. Do you ever eat the mix, the chocolate vanilla strawberry Napoleon and Napoleon? I forget what they call that one, but it comes like with the 3 flavors in the same container.
I ate it. It's really good. With some
Yes.
candies on the top and a cherry.
Oh yeah. Put a cherry on it. Maybe a little whipped cream. Ice cream. Ice cream is a good one. I think the internet is my favorite because it allows me to do all kinds of research and I can watch different things that I want to watch. It's very educational at times. It's good. All right, let's go to our reading comprehension.